Welcome to the Mike Davis Show, the first show and only show of 2024 that we'll do this year, right now, today, on Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with Davey.
Very nervous.
Don't panic, Colin. Davey had a heart attack. We've got an all-star cast. Boy, I am glad to be back on the air. When you have a limited amount of talent and you're not allowed to use that limited amount of talent for a while, it does wear on you. So welcome to the show. We got a great show. I believe Pete has defected and has shown his true colors in the new studio. Ooh. We'll talk about that too. I'm feeling blue this year is what Pete's theme was.
It's pretty.
I know. Davey wanted hot pink.
Of course.
He truly wanted hot pink.
Of course. We're Floridians. We love bright color. Why not celebrate it?
Flamingo pink.
Yeah, let's go. Lily Pulitzer dresses. Yeah.
We all dressed a theme today.
Oh, we did.
We're all in blue.
But it's perfect for the studio.
It's perfect. We didn't even know.
I'm in black and blue, and no one even sent me a notice.
Well, got a bruise. What did Darcy do?
Black and blue. No. All right.
Happened?
So let's get some ads paid for this year. Let's get some money done, and we'll roll that around, and then we're going to have a great show for you guys. And we have 5 questions at the end of the day, plus all kinds of excessive show prep that we all want to show off today.
Woo!
Unlike Troy Blevins, we work here.
Yes, we do.
All right, and just like that, Hebert, Kresge and Associates, they also work for you. They're a full-service local CPA firm with a team of skilled professionals dedicated to providing top-level service in the areas of tax compliance and planning for businesses, individuals, estates, and trusts. They also do audits, reviews, and other accounting services. They can do a business evaluation, forensic analysis, or litigation support. Call them today at 904-460-0747 or online at HebertKresgeCPA.com.
And we have the Tringale family of restaurants. If you don't have dinner plans yet, try out Carmelo's Pizza or 123 Burger House. So Carmelo's Pizza was voted best pizza 9 years in a row. They have New York style brick oven pizza. They also serve salad, subs, wings, and more. But 123 Burger House has you covered with the best burger 3 years running, at least 4, maybe 5. Who knows? It's an old read. Burgers, chicken, wings, salads, authentic wood-fired pizza, and ice cream. They offer dine-in, takeout, and delivery through Bite Squad and Grubhub. So they got you covered, and all those bases. Join the Tringale family for dinner.
Best wings.
So good.
Italian wings. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking about the best, the Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience of buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Phew, that's awesome. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. That's a big deal. Bozard Ford has been back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today. Go online. Go to bozardford.com. Check out their inventory and get one of those 904 Now burgers. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's the bee's knees. That's really good.
The bee's knees.
Solar Stick, established in 2006. They're a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing right here in the nation's oldest city.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, 904 family. I see so many of you out there. Barbara Jean, sorry about the outcome yesterday, or Sunday. That was bad. Sorry, Barbara Jean.
Very sorry, though.
I was pulling for you as a Jags fan, though I did have to celebrate that we finally remembered how to win.
Are we allowed to talk about FSU?
You can talk about FSU all you want.
I mean,
I know.
sad story.
It's a sad story.
Sorry.
No. I had people that complained about it. I said, look, basically the selection committee blew up those kids' senior year
100%.
and said, you don't get a chance to play. So those kids said, guess what? We're not going to participate in your game, your consolation game.
Right.
So if it's screwed up and nobody wants to watch it, you can blame yourselves. They all would have played had they been in the playoff. Both teams that supplanted FSU lost.
Really?
Both teams. Alabama lost and Texas lost.
Alabama.
So the committee picked 2 teams that could lose just as well as Florida State could have had all of our players been there. And had they played, Rodemaker would have been there. He wouldn't have left for the portal. I mean, everything changed whenever all of a sudden, hey, you're not going to let us play. It ended a season for an undefeated team that didn't have to end.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So now,
I don't like it.
Do I think they could have beaten some of those teams. Yeah, I think they could have beaten some of them, but not all of them.
Yeah.
And I think their defense would have had to play outstanding, which they seem to have done the last 2 games without their
Now, I
quarterback.
have to ask a silly question. Does this happen every year to a specific team?
It happens every year in every sports season. So it doesn't matter how many people are in. So when there were 32 teams in the NCAA tournament, they complained about number 33 being left out. Then whenever they went to 64, they complained about number 65 being left out. Now that they're at 68 with 4 play-in games, they complain about number 69, 70, 71, and 72 that are left out. So next year, the argument and debate will not be whether Florida State was left out. It will be the number 13 and 14 teams were left out, and they shouldn't have been, because that's what sports people do. They talk about this stuff.
But also, like, I've had beef with this committee forever because they definitely have a bias towards the SEC. So they always have been slanted towards the SEC, and the ACC teams just always get the shaft.
Yeah, you can
They
fact
just
check
do.
that and prove
Yes.
that. Yeah.
But the ACC got 11 bowl games. Right, they won 5 out of those 11 bowl games.
Clemson won their game.
Clemson won an amazing game and probably what was the best Gator Bowl in a long time, and maybe the best bowl game, 38-35.
Yeah.
There was
right down to the wire. It was
there were
stressful.
42 points scored in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
42
wild.
points. It was a crazy game. I did not watch any of it. I just woke up the next day and went, "Oh, I should have watched that game."
My dad, my brother, and my honorary uncle were all there. They, had
They
a really
were
good time.
there.
They were there. They watched it.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad still can't. He still can't talk.
Okay. So yeah, he was
He's
going.
still hoarse.
It's gotta be
Listen,
fun,
that was a great game. That was
Seriously.
an absolutely good game.
That was a good game.
There were a couple other good games. I thought the Wisconsin game was a pretty good game yesterday. They ended up losing. I can't remember who they lost. It was an SEC team. LSU.
Yeah.
That was a good game. There was a lot of really big time plays in that game as well.
Yeah.
So I thought it was some really good stuff. Next year's landscape will change dramatically. Lord knows where people will be, and in what divisions they'll be.
The only other football game result that I know about is that Cincinnati got beat by Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team.
Cincinnati got beat by 10. That's okay.
She's a part of that family of the Chiefs.
My brother and his wife they lived in Cincinnati for a long time. She was raised in Cincinnati. And so they came over on New Year's Eve and they were so excited. And they get the game on and we're watching it. And then my daughter's suddenly super invested because she sees
I love
Kansas
this.
City.
Yeah, me too.
And so she's rooting against her uncle and her aunt.
Yeah,
and
so what? Yeah.
My brother did not take that well.
She'll be fine.
And then
That's
they won.
awesome. Well, good. See?
I think that is, I think that's hilarious that the Kansas City Chiefs have become that team.
Yeah.
I really,
Taylor Swift's
truly
boyfriend's
think
team.
that is
Yeah.
hilarious. Right?
Karma is my tight end.
I am so
Go 87.
I'm so glad that she is not taking. So we do have Taylor
So
Swift.
you would be considered a Chad or a Brad. That's what we're calling you in memes now. Anybody that hates on Taylor at a football
hate on
game,
Taylor Swift.
you are a
I don't-
Chad or a Brad. Yeah.
I don't hate on Taylor Swift. I just don't want to watch Taylor Swift.
Okay.
So that's my choice.
She's just there to root a person on.
I am very glad that she's there. I'm glad that she has reached a new demographic for the
Definitely.
NFL. I'm happy for all that. I just don't want to be in that demographic. So, and I've never been a Chiefs fan anyway, so it's not like they were my favorite team and I left them. If she was showing up at the Jags games, I'd probably be thrilled to death because you know what? We get a damn Monday Night Football game.
So I feel like the NFL really started to suffer with the whole Colin Kaepernick controversy. I feel like that divided a lot of NFL fans, and that they've kind of struggled since that whole scenario.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce
Could be like the
would be the thing that would rebound the
basically
NFL
save
from
the
that.
NFL. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? I know where you're going, but real quick, I want you to comment on this because it was very big in the news.
Yes.
Was the owner of, what was it, the Ravens, threw the drink at the Jags fan? Did you guys hear about this in the
Oh,
blogs?
man. Yeah.
This was pretty intense, Mike.
I did not hear about this.
Okay, so he was so apparently nobody likes this owner, and he had this big attitude problem in his box, very fancy box, and there was a bunch of Jags fans in the going wild. He took his drink and somebody filmed it and he threw it on the fans, and it's all over the memes and the blogs.
Oh,
I'll send
yeah.
it to you. Yeah,
Okay, so Panthers
the
owner.
owner?
Panthers owner.
It's
Thank
the
you.
Panthers owner.
What did I say? Ravens. dopey.
Well, it
think
used to be
Ravens.
Jerry Richardson was the Panthers owner, but he's not
No.
the
So let me
Panthers
see.
owner anymore.
There's a video circulating on social media Sunday following the Carolina Panthers' 26-0 loss to Jacksonville Jaguars. Appeared to show the team's owner, David Tepper, throwing his drink in the direction of a Jags fan. I got a video that I can show.
It's bad.
Here, let's
I'm
see.
gonna speak for all Jags fans right now.
Tell me.
If the opposing
What's up
team's
now?
owners will throw more drinks on us and we can win, we're all in.
Yeah, we're all
There
in.
you
If
go.
We
that's
love
all it
it.
takes is to be doused with a drink from some jerk owner from the other team.
Dude, we're
we'll
Floridians.
take it.
Yes,
Look
we
at that.
love a
Take
crazy
that.
time.
That
Let's
Jag
go.
fan stood up and looked into the box because he felt it.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Here it
That's
is one more
wild.
time.
Yep, he threw it.
And
Throws his cup down, and then it pans out, and you see that.
Yeah.
You see that kid climb up.
Crazy.
Wild.
You know-
Y'all. But that doesn't happen at Taylor Swift games. I'm just telling you now. See my pivot back to you.
Yeah, no one's old enough to drink alcohol at a Taylor Swift game.
So that's good. That's a great blessing of a game. That's
Or
nice.
they have to drive their kids home.
This is true. They don't misbehave in front of the children, David.
Right,
Yes.
definitely not.
Oh gosh, yes. All right, so just on the good news, because I know you're a Taylor Swift guy. I was going to save this for trivia.
Oh.
But being gone for 2 weeks, I have so much stuff saved up.
Okay.
Right. The University of Florida, Davey,
Oh, yeah.
is now offering an honors course on
so
Taylor Swift.
Honors course. Can you
Honors
imagine? Not
course.
just a gen ed. Look at
Yes,
an honors course. Oh, I'm so proud.
In the course, in the class, students will fearlessly jump.
Yes.
Not scaredly walk, but fearlessly jump.
That's the name of one of our
That's a
episodes.
Taylor Swift
Yeah.
fall
reference.
into 13 gorgeous weeks of discussing Taylor Swift's
There are so many
discography.
lyrics.
There's so many things right here.
With a focus on her evergreen
Oh, I
songwriting,
love it.
the course description said. In addition to that, the students will also draw parallels between Swift's enchanting lyrics, works by other famous female masterminds, such as Aretha Franklin, Billie
Hey.
Holiday, and Dolly Parton.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Aretha did not like Taylor. There's a famous interview with her saying, what do you feel about Taylor Swift? And Aretha goes, she wears great gowns, is the quote.
That's about as cold as some of the, what is it, J-Lo and
Oh, Mariah Carey. Girl,
Oh,
that's
man.
a big beef. And that's a whole
thing.
show. We'll save that for you and me, but that's a big show, yeah.
Yeah.
We can dive into that rabbit hole. I got you on that. I read the book and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. People have very strong reactions because she's a woman. She can sing about a topic, and a man can sing about a topic, and she gets all the hate where men don't get any reaction at all.
I know.
Said a student newspaper, The Alligator.
You can be the man. That's another.
There was something funny I saw, and you can react to this, right?
Okay, ready.
So she has endorsed Joe Biden. Okay. But aren't most of her songs about her picking bad men?
No.
Her inability
Her
to pick a
inability
good
to pick a good man? I mean, I'm just asking for a
I
friend.
mean, I
I don't
believe
know. I haven't listened to the
that
songs.
a lot
I'm
of
just
the
asking.
songs talk about the relationship being awesome in the beginning and then it evolves and changes over time. So that's each
So
a
she
different.
picked a bad man.
So, you know,
I mean, you pick a bad
John
orange
Mayer.
off the tree. I mean, you don't ever know what you're going to get. You got to plant some seeds and watch
you know
your
who would
relationship
agree
grow.
with that today?
Who?
Charlemagne the God.
Oh, really?
Yes, he said he is not voting for Biden-Harris this time. He feels completely disappointed and furious at his endorsement 4 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He said he's tired of people coming up to him and said, I voted for them because you told me to.
you guys, this is a
Wasn't-
safe space.
wasn't
I agree
his-
with that, though. I am
Yeah.
furious. Like this is.
yeah.
All of them, though. I don't even know who I like. I don't like anybody. I have, like you said a couple weeks ago, I have no heroes in politics right now. Nothing. No,
Yeah.
I have no pulse for anybody. I look at it and like all they do is fight.
Yeah.
That's not getting
Davey
anything
is going
done.
to start a draft Taylor Swift when she's 36 campaign.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Taylor, when you're 36, Davey wants to be your campaign manager.
Let's do it. She's always.
Kelsey will be the first gentleman.
It'll be so fun. The parties that we could plan.
The outfits.
Oh, I love the outfits. That
The
red
gowns.
lip, baby.
Pounds. Boy, if they did that. So on other news, do you know
Okay.
what the number one movie was last year?
Last
Last year. So 2023, what was the number one movie?
Barbie. It's got to be Barbie.
Yeah, it's got to be Barbie.
Right, so Barbie
It's either Barbie or
was-
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbie was $636 million.
Yeah. You know why? Because I was the face of Northeast Florida Barbie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Super Mario Brothers.
That was my next
second.
guess, yeah.
Oh.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I thought was tired. Oppenheimer.
That was so sad.
Oh, I love that you used that hip term,
I
tired.
was tired.
Look at him.
I thought I was
Guardians
tired.
of the Galaxy 3 was depressing.
I
It broke my heart.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was so
It's
cool
fun.
and
Yeah.
new, and it brought humor to the Marvel universe in a way that it wasn't before, and it was some really kind of quirky characters.
Mm-hmm.
And Guardians of the Galaxy 2 kind of lost it a little bit, and then Guardians of the 3 just threw it in the trash can. Oppenheimer was 5. The Little Mermaid was 6. Avatar was 7. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Is it
Quantum
sad?
Mania.
Sad for
Domestic?
Avatar. You know they put money into that.
Oh,
They
billions.
put like
Yeah.
12 years into it. didn't they? It was
and that's
insane.
number 7.
283 million was the gross in the United
Where's
States.
Tay Tay on there? She's on there.
Hang on.
Okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp were 8. John Wick was 9. Now, was Sound of Freedom or Taylor Swift number 10?
Taylor Swift.
I think it's Taylor Swift because she had more theaters.
Sound of Freedom
Wow.
was number 10.
I watched
Nice.
that last night for the first
Sound
time.
of Freedom
It's
was
an
number
incredible
10.
movie.
It's intense.
Which I
Yeah.
thought it was a great movie. And look, I think the Taylor Swift movie, we've talked about this. I'm not a fan, but I thought it was an incredibly marketing genius to put it in theaters,
Yeah.
To have people that couldn't go to the tour go. And I think other artists will follow suit.
They did. She did. Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce already did.
But I don't think they're going to be as successful as she was.
No.
I don't think so
And,
either.
and
Which is
I
okay.
say that there are certain artists, foreigners should not do this.
You got to think about
They're
yeah.
not gonna make it.
Well, Dolly Parton's doing it.
Yeah.
She's jumping on board with
Yeah.
the movie.
I mean,
with her live stuff.
if a dollar can be made.
God
If a
bless
dollar-
America. Dolly will be right there. God
Listen,
bless St. Dolly.
If I'm the owners of theaters right now, watching the garbage that Hollywood is putting out that people
I
don't
know,
want to
I'd
go
be
see,
begging.
I'd be begging for an artist to please do a tour movie, please, 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 please,
Especially
please.
someone as universally loved as Dolly Parton.
Yes.
yeah.
I mean,
Now-
what she does with her money is just, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Barbie was the number one movie in 2023. What was the number one movie in 2022?
2022. I don't even remember that far back.
Davey's going to nail this.
No, I won't. In 22?
In 22.
What happened in 2022?
What happened
What
in
was the movie in
22?
2022?
I don't even know.
Was it?
Can you give us multiple choice?
Yeah, give us a multiple choice.
Give us 5
Hang on.
because I don't remember what was released in 2022.
Give me a second.
yeah.
All right. So you've got Black Panther,
Okay.
Avatar: The Way of Water. So that was across the stream, across
I
two.
know my answer. It's got to be, what's his name? Tom Cruise.
Doctor Strange in the
Oh, Top
Multiverse,
Gun.
That's my-
It's
that's
gotta
my
be
vote,
Top Gun.
yeah.
Jurassic World, or Top Gun?
Top Gun.
It's Top Gun. It
Top
had to
Gun.
be.
Yeah.
It was 100%. Did Top Gun outgross Barbie, or did Barbie outgross
Oh,
Top
Barbie
Gun?
outgrows Top Gun. 100%.
I think Top Gun.
Yeah.
Amanda's right.
Top
Top
Gun.
Gun was 700.
That's why he's asking.
Yes.
So tired of you
Yes.
people. Stupid trick.
That's why he's asking.
Lady Gaga was on that soundtrack. Did you hear that song? That's a good one. Hold my hand.
She was
yes.
not in Top Gun Maverick.
She was in the soundtrack. She was,
Was
like,
she?
yeah, she did this huge hit song. Oh,
Awesome.
with the wind was billowing with the fabric, and she was like thrusting on the. Oh, it was amazing. It was so
I may
good.
not have seen the same video that Davey saw.
Get your back into it.
We are one show into 2024, and Davey has already mentioned thrusting.
Well, I'm just saying, you
And
know.
billowing. Don't forget billowing in the
Billowing,
wind.
yeah,
Billowing
fabric in the wind. God, there's nothing better than a music video documentary hour.
Yes.
Hey, on a more serious note,
Okay.
on a much, much more serious
Yeah.
note, Leo just commented in the comments, thanks for pushing the info out to help them. Hydro Task Force 1 lost one of their members.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Great
they
guy.
did.
And you have
one of their
that
board
story.
members. Okay,
Yeah.
so Hydro Task Force One, just to recap, they are a 501c3 nonprofit. They're dedicated to supporting active military veterans, first responders, and their families. They absolutely do fellowship. They have a philosophy of getting out on the water, working together, and that water saves lives through the camaraderie and just the connection with the elements. And so one of their board members that I had the honor of meeting when I got to go to their event a few months back, Eiffel Giliana, he was out on, I think they were boating the weekend before Christmas, and he got separated from the group. And they did find the boat relatively quickly. It was badly damaged, and so there was a search for him. And he was located after Christmas on December 26th. And so we do have the information, the fundraiser for his family. They've raised a decent amount of money. They're close to their goal, so they're not quite there. But he was just an amazing man. So he was an Iraqi, a Christian Iraqi that worked with the U.S. military force, special forces as an interpreter.
Wow.
And so he managed to immigrate to the U.S. Around and settled in Jacksonville around Ricky, who we've had on the show. And so he worked with Ricky, so they reconnected in the United States in Jacksonville. And so he was one of the board members. He was doing training with the Jewish Community Alliance. He just lived to serve, and he had this huge energy and smile and joy about him. He was just an amazing person. So if you go to that fundraiser at GoFundMe to help his family, that would be a huge blessing. You can also give money to Task Force Hydro One in his honor to help carry on the work that he was so passionate about. These are great people and they're friends of the show, and we're very sad for the Task Force Hydro One community right now and the greater veteran community, because he just served so many.
Well said. And then what is the goal and where are they at right now?
All right. So the goal is $125,000. He was the breadwinner for his family, so that's why it's at that level. And they are currently at $111,655. And so they have 692 donations at this point.
Holy crap.
Well, this show will be another one of those donations. So I'll take care of that this week, and we will get that done, because those guys are great folks. And that's an amazing story about his life, and just a tragic, such a tough loss. So yeah, this show will definitely help those guys get there.
So tragic. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's somebody that's a specialist in this field too. That's just what blows my mind.
Yep. And it just shows, I mean, the water molecule, my boss at Marine Lane used to say the water molecule is evil. It can find a weakness anywhere, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate who or what it can take out. And so it's always a struggle against the water molecule, which is, you need water to survive, but it's also
it's the most destructive force on the planet.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need it. I love it. I surf in it all the time. But I get that. I mean, I've gone from having the best wave of a year to 20 minutes later fighting just to get back to the surface again. And it can happen that quickly. So it's not, but yeah, we're going to continue to push that. We'll talk about that all week long as well. And hopefully we can help get them there and get that word out.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Yep. You have other news. You're going to be gone a little bit this week.
Yes. So I am doing well. I'm here and I'm healing, and it's the first time not in stretchy pants.
How you feeling? Yeah,
my
good.
incisions are healing nicely, and I can actually wear jeans and like real pants again.
Can you high kick?
I'm working on that high kick.
Okay, God bless.
But my grandmother is struggling. My grandmother is in stage 3 of congestive heart failure. Before we get into the thick of school stuff, I'm going to take a little time to go up and see her, take the kids to see her. So I am going to miss out on the rest of the shows this week, but I'll be back next week.
Okay.
All right, so those of you that watch, we want all of you to watch. This will be a dumber broadcast the next 2 days. But hang in there with us.
What's that saying about me?
Intelligence will be back. Listen, Blevins is coming in on Thursday. What do you think that's going to be like?
Get the breath mints.
Oh, gosh. What will that be like?
What will that be like? It's always great when you two are on camera.
I know, and Blake will be sitting in the next 2 days with us too.
Cool. Okay.
So the voice of the Utes will
That'll
be here.
be nice.
The voice of Ute will be here.
So bring all of your Zoomer trivia.
Well, we should save some relationship advice for Blake to answer to.
Definitely we're solid. And guys, keep them coming. I get all of your messages, so send me all relationship questions and advice. So we love to do that on this show. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have one for tomorrow. I'll save for tomorrow.
Cool.
I don't even have the answer for it because it was one of those headlines that they wrote. And then when you read the article, you couldn't find the answer in the article unless you subscribe to something. So I was like,
I hate that.
I'm just going to hold the headline.
Yeah.
Davey will be able to answer the headline.
We'll definitely be able to get through that.
Can Davey answer the headline tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you can tune
one
in
of the times that you were gone, I had Troy and Blake in here, and I pitted them against each other on Gen X, Millennial, and Zoomer slang.
Okay.
And
that's a fun show.
And Troy nailed Zoomer slang so much better than Blake did. Blake was so mad.
You want to know why Troy nailed it?
Oh, no.
Because he dates girls in that demographic. He has to know how to talk to them.
He read a book.
Blake never had a chance.
No. Well, he's got to take notes.
Blake never had a chance.
Dad's a Casanova. He's got to take some notes there.
As soon as I used the word nailed it, I was like, man.
You asked for that. Okay, so we've got thrusting and nailed.
Thrusting, billowing. Don't forget billowing.
Billowing. Barbara Jean, you better hit the like button, Barbara Jean. This is all for you.
Sounds like a Taylor Swift song, all these lyrics.
No, so I thought it was good. Did you guys have a good New Year's?
Yeah.
Christmas, New Year's break. It was a great break.
Yes.
We did get the baby blue studio.
I love it.
As opposed to the harsh red.
Yeah. It looks great.
I kind of like the baby blue studio.
Yeah, it's
I like
very
the blue.
nice.
Yeah.
I like it too. It's good pop.
And Pete didn't get any paint on the floor. He didn't get any paint on any of the wainscoting. He didn't get any paint on the white. I mean,
Use the tape.
he did good. He really
He did not let me
good.
know that I needed to come and get the Christmas tree. So,
He didn't want to burden you.
MIA on the Christmas tree. We'll find it.
Did he hide the Christmas tree?
I mean, Davey was looking.
It's here. Yes.
It's here. It's
in the
got to
closet.
be here. It's got to be here.
He gently put it in the closet.
Is it upside down?
So come November, the tree comes out of the closet.
We had the smallest tree ever this year because we weren't going to have a lot of people over.
Yeah.
Our family was in town, but not all together. So we just said, well, let's just do a small tree. That small tree, which was only about 4 feet tall, and then we put it on top of a box, right? So it looked
Charlie
bigger.
Brown.
Yeah, it was Charlie Brown, 100%. There were no leaves left. There was nothing left on it when I went to take it out last night. I shook it one time, and it went shoom.
They
all
were
on the floor.
exceptionally
Yes,
dry trees
on
this
the
year.
floor.
Yeah,
Yes.
mine drank literally a gallon a day, and that got me kind of nervous. So, like,
Yeah.
literally the day after Christmas, I was like, "We're getting this.
Out.
We're done."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of drinking for the tree.
So I haven't had a real tree ever since I want to say it was like 2012, 2013. We had like a really cold couple of days and then a really hot couple of days. And our AC didn't kick over properly. And so it got really hot in the house one day. And evidently there are things called Christmas tree mites
Oh,
that look like ticks.
oh.
And if the house gets over like 77 or
Oh,
78
never in my
degrees,
world. We're
then-
frozen in my house.
Well, so the
It's
only
good for
reason is
skincare.
because we didn't have like a modern thermostat, and
Yeah.
so we had switched it to heat for the cold days.
Okay.
And we didn't get switched back fast enough in the
Ooh,
morning.
okay.
When it got suddenly hot,
I
and
get it
so the
now.
house got hot.
Yeah, yeah.
And so not knowing that was going to cause thousands of tiny tick-like bugs to fall out of my tree and invade my house.
Girl, hell no.
Oh my word. I was babysitting a toddler. I had my own preschooler and toddler, and I've got thousands.
I would have
I had,
raid.
well, I couldn't do that because I couldn't kill the kids.
Well, put a mask.
I was vacuuming them. I was vacuuming them up
golly.
and then throwing away the vacuum bag and calling my husband. And I had to like pull everything off of the tree.
Uh-huh.
We took the tree back to the family that would sell them on the corner of King Street and US 1. We took the tree back. They gave us our money back.
Okay.
So, at least
They're
they
no
gave us our
longer
money
in
back.
town.
In their defense, I don't know that that's their fault.
It wasn't, but they gave me money
natural.
back. And they got to resell the tree.
Well,
I mean, what
it's
are
like
they
when
going
you
to do?
buy products from India, and Susan Swearingen, our great friend, would actually high five me on this.
Yeah.
You will sometimes get like little mites from like Indian fabrics or things like that are coming from India. It's just part of their colors that they use and and with all the different saris and things. So yeah, it is something that's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a spray.
But it's one of those things that as long as your house doesn't get warmer than a certain temperature,
Warm.
then you will never have the problem. But if you ever have a situation where like your heater gets left on too long or like your system goes haywire because you didn't call Powell Heating and Air Conditioning,
That's
You had to
right.
set it and
Your
forget it.
tree, baby.
your tree's gonna drop mites.
Yeah.
So I just noticed Davey is pandering today.
Why?
He came in this morning, did the show. Did you know the wall was painted the color of your scarf this morning when you came in, or did you change your scarf so that
I
it would
have
match?
always had this color palette. Okay, so maybe I inspired possibly.
Did you change the scarf to match the wall coloring for the
I
show
think it's
this
adorable
afternoon?
that he thinks the blue in your scarf matches the wall.
That doesn't though.
It doesn't.
It does not.
In my world, it's close enough. Don't put the brown up there.
In my world. Are you kidding? Okay, so over the holiday break, I watched a lot of a show called Flipping Out. Do you know who this Jeff Lewis designer is?
No,
I watched the early
I'm
seasons of Flipping Out.
obsessed.
No.
Oh, I love it. And
Yeah,
he's-
I watched it when it first came out. The first, I think probably 1 to 4 seasons I watched.
So I kept thinking about you because you have to deal with a lot of like interior and exterior design things, right? So do you get
Yes.
in there like real anal retentive with like the different shades of white?
No.
You okay? You're
No,
just like
listen, I have a common saying, right?
Okay.
I look at the owners and I go, I will build you a structurally sound house. I do not do colors.
okay.
So you
was
need to
curious.
hire somebody to
Okay.
do colors. I'll paint them the best that they can be painted. I'll do a phenomenal job, but I do not do colors.
do not do the
So when you ask me to look at colors, I'm not. That's not my thing. Darcy understands kind of my palette of things I like and don't like. And we work together on that when she does the
Okay.
inside of the house. So, but I completely leave it up to her.
Did you have a bad job and you were like, I'm not doing this ever
No,
again?
it's not my skill
Just
set.
never been your skill
It's
set.
not my skill set.
Okay.
Davey, if I asked you to dig a footing, put the steel in it, and pour the footing, could you do that?
I mean, I would YouTube it, but yeah. Just to make sure, because you know me, I'll put it upside down. That's my thing.
Structurally, I know how to do all of that stuff, right? I'm good with all that stuff. So,
Well, you need a design department. I got your back.
we have a lot of good people that we work with
Cool.
that are excellent. And, I've had clients that have completely locked up
Yeah.
on making this. I had one that
It's hard.
we had 35 or 40 different colors in their living room.
Oh,
And I was just like, you got to pick one.
it's hard.
Yeah.
If the painter's charging us
By the day.
by the day
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
these samples up, well, they should be charging. Well, listen, they don't do 7 samples in most houses. You got 35 or 40. I get it, but we gotta move this on. So yeah, no. That's just not my thing. I can look at things. I can do room spaces really well. I know how to look at a building and say if you convert this or you move that, it'll give you better utilization of space inside your existing space. But I cannot do colors.
You're a spatial awareness guy, not a color palette guy.
Well, that's
Nope.
good.
No,
You've
I don't.
got talent.
And I've had owners tell me they're going to do things, and I go, that's going to look horrible. And I walk in afterwards, I go, oh my God, that looks amazing.
Okay.
And I've had other owners say, I'm going to do this, and I go, oh, that should look great. And I walk in and I go, yeah, that didn't quite get there. So it just all depends. But as long as they are, as long as they're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't. Not a foodie guy either. But
You're not?
Are we going to do like a group watch of the Arnold's Bar Rescue?
Oh, who cares?
I'll watch it.
Oh, you guys can
I
watch
like
it.
Jake. Oh, what is it? Jake Taffer? John Taffer? John Taffer?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the show.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But I really kind of want to see what the vibe was in Arnold's before and after.
So when I had a newborn and I was nursing constantly, then I have like a show that I really got into with each of my babiys because you're just sitting there forever.
Right.
And you're just nursing. Like there's
Totally.
a period of time where you're nursing like 18 to 20 hours a day. So like I binged stuff. And so there's like a survival show that I watched with Isabella, and I watched Dr. Quinn, a medicine woman with Libby. And then I watched
There's only
Jane
17
Seymour.
I watched
seasons.
Bar
Yeah.
Rescue with
You didn't watch
Gavin.
Roni, like Real Housewives of New York or anything like that?
That I had already gotten off of those. Sorry.
I don't do drama. Those are just drama.
Well, I mean,
They're
true.
just
They're very drama. They're very drama.
Yeah, I walk through and I look at Darcy watching one of those and I just keep going. But I love the little jokes on Instagram where the husband walks through the first time. Oh, this is horrible. How can you watch that?
And then they're stuck.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
It's like, when's the next episode?
Once you get in there, it's the Andy Cohen
There's some
factor.
people
Yeah.
that just get drawn into that. I just kind of keep going for that. So
Yeah.
I just keep going. And
So
just,
yeah, with Gavin or with Isabella, it was Living with the Tribes: The Adventures of Mark and Ollie, 2 UK explorers and documentary filmmakers living with a tribe in West Papua New Guinea.
Wow. So you don't watch
So-
Camping with Steve? That's
No.
Pete's favorite show.
what is it?
Oh, you got to set. You got to.
Well, hang on. Before you tell me what the show is,
Okay.
did they get eaten in the last episode?
So no, they ended up they made close friends. One of them was adopted as the son of the chief and this whole deal. But there was a really tense part because the chief's wife was pregnant, and while they were there, and she gave birth partway, probably about 2/3 of the way in. And so they've got these really great relationships. They're really enjoying their time there. And then the wife gives birth, and everyone's super excited, and then nobody's talking about the baby, and they're trying to figure out like what's going on. And it's because they weren't sure if the baby had a birth defect. And so like the entire tribe was on pause until they found out whether or not the baby had a birth defect.
Could be cholera.
And so what they found out was going to happen was if the baby had a birth defect, they were going to put him face down into the mud and hold him there until he died.
That's not nice.
Because that's their custom. Because if it's a birth defect, then that means that there's an evil spirit in the tribe and they have to get rid of the evil spirit.
I'm an evil spirit right back.
And so Mark and Ollie are like, we can't be here for this, but we also can't leave the baby knowing that they're going to kill the baby. But if we try and take the baby and leave, they're going to kill us.
Sound of freedom.
So
Take the baby, go through the jungle. Yeah.
So it was like this very tense, couple of days while they were trying to figure out like whether the baby was okay or not.
And the end of it was
the baby was fine and like everything was okay. But there was like and so here I am watching this show while I'm nursing my newborn, and I'm like, no.
Tears pouring down your eyes.
Essentially not smothering it in mud, but in breast milk.
It caused very interesting conversations between my husband and I. Like, what would you do? What would you do in that situation?
And when you started the very first one, Louis regretted?
Louis started it.
Oh, paying for cable that year.
Louis is the one that started it. He's the one that found
paying for cable. Why did I pay for cable this year? I could have saved the money.
That's my drama that I was watching.
My goodness.
Instead of Real Housewives.
My goodness.
No.
Yeah.
All right. You guys said you had show prep.
We do.
So what do you have? What did you bring today? I'm intrigued by what you brought.
Where do you want to go?
Oh gosh.
Well, let's do your, wait, you were supposed to ask us about New Year's Eve, right?
Oh, yep, I got a New Year's Eve question.
So what's your New Year's Eve question?
Well, we had 5 questions, and we can kind of start there.
Yeah.
I'll start at the one that I think got you guys triggered the most.
Okay.
Your worst New Year's resolution. Here we go. Everybody,
I just don't understand. I don't understand why people have to seriously use the word resolution. It's the famous R word, and then everybody goes through this whole like life transformation at this time. If this is the only time that you do a self-discovery this year, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
Especially of what we learned through the pandemic. We're always going through change. We learned how to pivot. We're constantly moving. We're constantly being stimulated.
Yeah.
So why would you put the pressure of yourself on a resolution like, oh, I'm going to start working out. Oh, I'm going to start losing weight and eating healthier. Why not? Why look at the whole staircase and just take it one step at a time?
Yeah.
Right? That's what we learned.
It's like I'm going to start my diet on Monday, and then Monday never comes.
Right, and Monday never comes.
Yeah.
Right. Why don't you no challenge, no change, and just take it one day at a time? That's my thing on resolutions. I don't know about you and your generation, but I am OVER. I'm done with it.
Amanda?
So I have set lots of resolutions in my adult life. None have lasted past February or March. So I found a new concept. But
Okay.
you can answer your resolution first before we talk about the new
My
concept.
worst one ever, I signed up for a spin class with Davey.
You never did. I would have screenshotted your name on the class list just to prove that you were there.
I'm coming to a spin class this year just to harass
Oh, you would love it. Oh, my
I'm going to
God.
heckle you the entire time.
You're in the audience. I can't even hear you.
I'll be heckling you the entire
I'll put you next
time.
to Chief Michaud. She'd love to be next to you.
She'd probably kill me.
She's amazing. She
boy-
kills me. I get the finger from her all the time.
My boys went to a spin class with their aunt in Atlanta probably 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
And they were all high school athletes. They're all in pretty good shape. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll go to the class with you, Kristen. And they get on the bike, and one of them says, okay, so we're 10 minutes in. How much longer is this? She goes, 50 minutes. And they're like, what did we do? Dad was so smart for not going.
See, I make it in the dark. No one can see you. It's like you forget about time when you're with me. I'm a show. I got you.
So I have been pondering a different concept.
Okay, here we go,
New Year's resolution. So rather than doing resolutions and setting yourself up to fail, what I have been looking into is kind of sitting down and really processing, like, what do you want? Where are you struggling in your life? And kind of synthesizing that down into a word.
I like that.
So a word of the year. And so the idea is that it helps you to focus your goals and your efforts in the coming year with this word of the year. You're supposed to put it in places that are around you so it stays in the forefront of your brain and it stays intentional, and you can journal around it so that you can kind of keep track of how you're moving towards it. And I have had 2023 was just a year of illness. I just physically, mentally, like everything just kicked me in the butt. So I'm thinking my word of the year is going to be healing. And that's going to be multiple levels in my life. That's what
Can
I'm
I be
going to
devil's
be.
advocate on your word choice?
Yes, you can.
Healing or resilience?
So I
She was resilient this year.
I feel like I walked through a season of resilience.
Okay, so that was
and
2023. And now,
resourcefulness,
okay, now it makes sense
So
to me.
now I feel like it's a time to really kind of process everything that happened and get okay with like everything that happened and move forward. And so that's healing for me. And that's, like I said, it's in lots of different areas. So physically, mentally, emotionally, there's lots of different words that if you like this idea, I've got a list of 100 words and kind of a better explanation of it that I can put in the comments for you. But I'm thinking I'm going to do a word of the year this year. So that's where I'm going with it instead of resolutions.
I love that.
So do you boys have any ideas of words popping up in your head that could be your word of the year?
Yeah, but so far none of them that I'm allowed to say on the air.
Oh, geez, transformation. We know.
I know. No, the other is that follows along with that worst New Year's resolution is best one. My best one is one year I said I wasn't going to do any resolutions. And
See?
it was awesome. I just kind of rolled through that year.
Yeah.
So I think there's some good and bad ones out of that.
I'm much better at Lent commitments than I am with resolutions.
So you're
Why is that?
And I feel like it's because it's a very strict
40
time
days
frame.
as opposed to
there's a
365.
definitive
But you're
starting
connecting your
point,
faith, which you have a lot of passion for.
and I feel like it's easier for me to stick to something if I'm doing it for God rather than doing it for myself. And so it's like if I'm doing this to get connected with God, then like I'm there, I'm doing it, I'm not failing that. But if it's like I want to do this for myself, then I'm a mom. I put myself on the back burner all the time. So like I'm gonna fail myself. I just know it.
Well, I mean, if you didn't fail, you wouldn't have success.
Yes.
So you've got to be able to appreciate your failures because those are the seeds that we
There's so
plant,
many of them.
right? But that's the beauty part about life. If you just were successful all the time, you would be able to celebrate it.
Yes.
And if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth bragging about. So you might as well just
Exactly.
go for it.
So we'll see you at spin class next year.
I will see you, baby. Let's
I need your schedule to work for me. I need your schedule to change.
Oh, I know. Me too. God bless.
I still think we should get an entire 904 Now crew over
I
to
think we should
I
too.
Davey
don't
spin
want to
class.
kill the entire team. There's some that haven't gotten
You
their
just
heart
want
rate
to kill
over.
me? What is that?
Well, but I know you can get your heart rate over 12. I mean, there's some of them I just worry about. My goodness.
I don't think we can do it before the Florida Man games because if Pete dies,
No, we got to keep him focused.
we are so screwed because we would
No
have to
pranks.
carry on
Look,
in his name. and it
next
would
2
be
months, I
horrible.
don't want any pranks from anybody. Everybody lay low. Let him get through this. It's like giving birth. I know. It's not
Yeah.
easy. I'm going to go
And
for
you gave
me.
birth how many times?
Me? Oh, I've had many lives. Billowing. In fact, that's my word. Birth. Just kidding. I'm going to probably say...
I think he's going through a list of words.
I
right
did.
here.
I already
I
had it,
sent him
though.
one.
Ah.
I already said it. And then
Do you want me to send it to you?
No. Oh, send
to
it
him.
to...
Sure. Yeah.
It's in the comments. I just posted the link in the comments.
I think balance is a good word for me,
Yeah.
just because I just get so headstrong and so passionate and so focused on my projects in life. So, for instance, had a family meeting over holiday time. I talked a
Yeah.
little bit about this in the afternoon show, and my family was like, "You know what? We miss you because we don't see you very much." And I was like, "Okay, that's a
Yeah.
not a call for help, but like something that I could definitely manifest and change."
Yeah.
So we have challenged ourselves because my sister is one of the principals at Island Prep, so she's just as busy as I am.
Yeah.
So we've challenged each other to come together once a month. This weekend we're going to the Iceman. I'm very excited. My first game. So
very
we're
nice.
going to take little projects and try to build on that. Because I don't know if you know, Mike, my niece got a very extraordinary Christmas gift this year.
She did.
Did you see that
Yes,
video?
I saw the video.
Your
It was
presents?
amazing.
Oh man,
Your
yeah,
presents?
it definitely was. It was a gift.
It was.
Picture this. She's the most adorable thing ever. Big, huge eyes. And like she goes through Christmas morning and I show up. My sister was like, show up about 9, 10 o'clock after
Yeah.
presents were open. So she comes up to me and like mom and dad are in the kitchen or whatever. She goes, Uncle D, I got to tell you, I'm very happy with all my gifts, but I didn't get the American Girl doll I always wanted. And I said, well, we'll figure it out. I'm sure Santa must have missed it or something. I tried to play it off like that. Long story short, in my car was the American Girl doll. She opens it up, and on the video she goes, yes! It was the best
So
uncle
sweet.
moment ever.
Yeah.
And so those are the moments that I don't want to miss in life. And so that's why it was important for balance to be my word to manifest and focus on this year.
So one year, my daughter, who was about 10, wanted an American Girl doll.
Oh, yeah?
Right, that looked like her, right? They
Yeah.
had this whole thing.
Do you still have it? I'll buy it off you.
No, she
still have
has it.
mine.
I have no idea where it is. But my mom got a huge box about this tall and put the American Girl in the box.
Okay.
And then my son Reese, a year younger, had a box the same size. All he wanted was a PlayStation.
Okay.
And so my mom made my daughter open the gift first, told Reese, I got you the same thing.
American Girl doll?
Reese, well, that's what Reese thought.
Okay.
Right? My mom was teasing him by, I got you what you wanted, but said the same thing as what your sister got. He did not want to open the box. We had to make him open the box. And then at the bottom of the box was the PlayStation that he
That's
really,
cool.
truly wanted. So, yes.
That's awesome.
I love little pranks
Yeah.
like that on Christmas
Yeah,
time.
my
It's so
American
fun.
Girl doll. I remember getting that for Christmas, and that was one of my favorites. I wanted Samantha because she had brown hair and brown
That's
eyes,
what my
just like
sister
me.
got too. She has
Yep.
Samantha and Elizabeth was the other
Yeah,
one.
so I had a Samantha, and so she looked like me, similar, appearance, but she's Victorian girl, and I love that era, and so I very much enjoyed all of her little crafts that I got because they would get themed crafts, so you would do the same kind of like arts and crafts that a Victorian.
It is a whole
girl.
culture.
It's
you
a whole
guys.
thing.
So I used to work at Saks in Manhattan, and across the street is the like flagship of American Girl doll. And you can go have tea with your doll. They can go do the hair at the same time.
Well, they're kind of phasing out. So I think Mattel bought them.
Oh, did they?
And that's when they started they started moving away from the historical dolls.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have them, but they don't put the same emphasis on them.
We got Leela.
It's the
She's new.
American Girl, like you doll. And so it's just like all of the trying to get a doll that looks like you and like mimics your
Well,
story rather than
interesting.
it being a tool to tap into another culture. Or
and
another
saying
time.
like, this is what you have to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
In today's world, I don't know, with so much anti-looking back in American history, I don't know how you could pull characters out of American history and try to sell them in a where we were told everybody that was back then was bad.
Well, that idea might be why they moved away from it.
Probably.
I mean,
But
and
they
I think
did-
that's a shame because kids were learning about American history.
And it was
right,
really
wrong, or
interesting.
indifferent, they were learning about
and
American
it gave you a reason to collect all of the dolls if you had the money to do it, because like you could connect to all of these different eras and time, and there are different classes of girls. There were the upper Samantha was more, upper class, I guess, and then you had the working girls of different eras, and so it gave you a reason
Gertrude.
to want the other books. Molly
Yeah.
was,
Oh, that's right,
She was, I
Molly.
think, World War II.
Okay.
And then so. It gave you a
Name 'em,
reason to
girl,
read
go.
all of the books.
Name
I
them.
can't
Oh,
read
that's
them all.
big in pop culture right
can't
now.
read 'em all right now.
Name them.
Damn.
But it was cool. They did a re-release of all of the historical dolls on their anniversary, and it like sold out. And so I think that says something about the,
It's
wanting to
important too,
connect
though.
to.
I do like the history
a time
element
gone
of
back.
that too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
Yep.
That's what you brought.
So that's what Davey brought. There's a shark that pinged off the coast.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
want to talk about this.
You don't want to talk about
Let's not talk about
Does this
anything
get
but
you a
this.
little bit like the heart rate goes up a little bit?
Well, as a surfer, do you know about Osarch? I think is how they pronounce it.
Yes, we all look at it this time
So,
of
yeah.
year, so we know how much danger we're in.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's a 13-foot great white shark. I went and looked at its travels today.
Okay.
It was down around Palm Coast the other day.
Oh, why?
I'm very glad that it's flat right now because I'm not out in the water.
yeah.
The other thing I will tell you, I don't think there's much food along the coastline for these sharks to eat.
Well,
Right.
so
'Cause
I
they
ate it
travel
all.
up and down. So this is the website I'm talking about, and you can just track them all. They all have fun names. I love Bob down here. Bob's funny. 13 foot 4 inch 1,300 pounds. But they travel up and down the East Coast, but they go all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, and they're searching out food. They're searching out warm water currents.
Can we do like a magnetic pulse to push them nicely?
Well, so there's some arguments that magnetic pulses and like EMGs or whatever, radars, EMPs, radar, that's interfering with the marine life's geolocation. And so that's why you're getting increased beaching of whales and stranding events and things like that.
I heard it was windmills on the whales. That's what I heard. I'm not sure it's true, but I heard that.
That's not impossible for a couple of different reasons. There's what we don't talk about with these giant wind turbines for power is that they have these incredible low pressure zones that are created and lots of vibration. I had a friend that had a
no, vibration's real. Like that's a thing.
Well, I have a family they have an autistic son, and they lived on a farm in Indiana, and they eminent domained part of the farm, and they were going to put this massive wind turbine and they right over their house. And they had others on their property that they couldn't go around because particularly their son that was on the spectrum, he really had a negative reaction to being around them.
Yeah, they're heightened senses. Yeah.
Well, there's some talk that, the vibrations and the low pressure zones can affect neurological activity, and people on the spectrum might just be more sensitive to that. But anyway, they had to sell that farm and they had to move.
Wow.
Because they couldn't stop the wind turbine from going in there. They fought it for over a year. And they were going to put this giant one right over their house. And so they sold their house and they moved.
I just saw the movie Meg and Meg 2.
Yes.
That's about the megalodons.
Yes.
Have you ever seen
Jason Statham?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
I watched parts of one.
Okay.
And I took it for as long as I could, which was about 4 minutes.
Mike doesn't like sharks.
And then I was like, I just can't do
He's a
this
shark
one.
survivor.
Yes, I am.
Survivor.
I know.
Very proud of that.
No, I look at some of that stuff and the mag thing just doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
I never thought there's certain dinosaur movies I think are great. I don't, there's some shark movies I think that are really good shark movies.
Like Jaws?
I'm still recovering from Jaws. Thank you very much. I'll be back in therapy
Don't want to talk
tomorrow for you
about
bringing it up. But no, I think it's cool that you can track these animals. I wish they could say exactly where all of them are at all times. That'd be very helpful. There was a young man that died in Australia, South Australia this week, teenager. Great white shark attack.
Golly.
So it's devastating for us. And I just continue to hope there's just not that much food along this coastline. And so, I just don't see them coming down here for food. I think they're coming down here to mate. There is a theory that
most people do.
I did.
Yeah. So I think that
all those babies you're having.
Oh, God bless.
Do you want a random geography fact?
Sure.
Yeah.
Since
go.
I've got the map pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay, so St. Augustine has all these really old wooden structures, right? And part of the reason that's we're the only place in the state that has these really old wooden structures is because of this Blake Plateau that you see in the water there. Do you see how it has that sort of protrusion off on the east side? So when hurricanes are coming towards Florida, they either go at the low end, the south end of Blake Plateau, or they go north of Blake Plateau. And so St. Augustine hasn't had a single direct hit from a hurricane since they started tracking hurricanes.
You've been hanging out with Blevins. You throwing the hurricane party this year too?
Well, they named the plateau after Blake.
They did. So the reason is because of this protrusion off of Blake Plateau. It kind of divides the path of the hurricanes. So they either shoot off south or they go north.
So here's you're mostly right. There has never been a Category 3, 4, or 5 hurricane hit north of Cape Canaveral to the Florida-Georgia line. We've been hit by hurricanes, but they've been smaller hurricanes.
Got glancing blows.
Cats 1 and 2. And most of them have come across the coast from the west coast, exiting back out to the Atlantic. Hurricane Dora and Donna. One was a direct hit from the east coast, just north of us, and the other one was a Cat 2. The other one came across the west coast. So one was 60, and I think one was 64. Could be off a little bit. some of the other people out there that are better history.
It's just wild that for a hurricane to like directly go over us, and a direct hit is the eye wall coming over you. So it's wild that a hurricane has to go over the entire peninsula in order to hit St. Augustine directly.
Well, let's just count
Look,
that
I mean,
blessing.
we're in a pretty good spot for that. I mean, historically, I think some of it is the shape of the coast. The coast jogs to the west. The Gulf Stream follows that same area out there. So the Gulf Stream goes farther away. That's where that warm water is that those hurricanes like to follow, right? And then you also have all those cold fronts that want to drop down, typically at the height of hurricane season, which are pushing things off into the Atlantic.
What if we did? I have a great idea for you. You don't have to be fearful of sharks. What if we built the Mike Davis Surf
I'm
Park
all in. Let's go.
in Hastings?
Let's go.
And it'll be wonderful. We get a wind machine to make the waves.
We don't need to. They have
You can
that.
type in boop, 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 14-foot waves, and then they come up. Like, yeah.
I'm all in for doing that.
I love it.
They're building one in South Florida right now.
Oh, they really?
Yeah,
I really
Kelly
wanted to know.
Slater's
I
behind
thought I
one.
pioneered something.
No.
Thank you. That-
Kelly Slater has got a really cool complex. So
Really?
it's Breton. It's Breton that is off the coast of St. Augustine.
Oh, Breton.
He
They
is
did
a
have one-
13-foot, 3-inch, 1,437-pound male great white.
That's a lot
They-
of cosmetics.
It's a lot.
They had one a
a
few
lot of
years
squalene.
ago when ocean research was probably in its infancy and just starting to report this stuff online. So maybe 5-10 years ago, probably 10. And they called the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department because one of their sharks pinged. And it pinged basically in the parking lot of the Jacksonville Pier.
See,
And
now
they said-
that's
They said,
something.
you need to just go out and make sure there's nobody in the water because of where
Welfare
the shark
check.
just pinged.
Yeah.
Which I thought was crazy, right? That they're like, oh my gosh, this thing's so close to the coast.
Yeah.
I think they come down here to mate. The other reason they potentially come down here, one scientist said, the only food source that's big enough to feed them, there's a migration of black-tip sharks. And they think that the great white
Oh, they're
sharks are
cannibalistic,
hunting
yeah.
the black-tip sharks.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're down here. And the other shark that hunts those is also hammerhead.
Oh, yeah. And
So-
they get the shrimpers. They don't like the hammerheads. They screw up the nets.
yeah.
I
I
would,
learned that from somewhere. I don't know.
having had one swim under my surfboard, I'm not a huge fan of them either.
Yeah.
No.
They're rather big and rather nice. All right. The other one we had, question was best holiday gift you had.
Okay.
And then was this year or any year. Davey said any year.
Any year.
So what do we got?
I'll give my favorite my favorite Christmas gift this year.
Yep.
So I put this on my Amazon wish list as a gag after I used one for the first time, and I didn't think anyone would actually get it for me, but they did. So it's a bidet toilet seat.
Oh, they're amazing.
A heated bidet toilet seat.
Yeah.
And so I tried one out a couple of years ago at a doctor's office, and I was like, Amazon list.
Isn't that
And
cool?
so, yeah, my husband installed it because he loves me very, very much.
It is not an easy thing to
And
install.
It is not. And it is amazing.
It is
change your
amazing. The
life.
freshie fresh forever.
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, I love it. Yes, absolutely.
Everyone needs a bidet.
Everybody needs a bidet. I don't care who you are. You need it. It's lovely.
Yep.
I don't know who you French people are.
Mike is so disgusted and I don't care.
No, I'm not. We've
Oh,
installed
no.
them. Trust me, we've
The
installed
freshie
them.
fresh, bro. You got to get it.
installed
It's
them.
good.
Have you tried a Toto toilet yet? Our buddies over at Amara Med Spa have a Toto toilet. That's the one that's like the crazy, like, it's like a spaceship. It opens, there's aromatherapy, and then you'll get like a little like hip massage, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a whole thing. Check
Yeah.
it out. TOTO toilet.
Does it sing Africa?
It could.
Africa.
Great song.
Probably
bless
could.
the rain.
Great
Oh,
song.
gosh.
The geography in that song is
My
completely
best
incorrect.
gift was from my friend Susan Yvonne, who started making me a quilt in the summertime.
Oh, it's beautiful. I saw
Oh
it.
my goodness, Mike! This was an insane project. It was like 94 inches long. It was huge, and it's all these crazy colors of like, and she made this, and I just
gorgeous.
There's nothing better than having a friend make you a piece of
Do you want me to
art
show
like
everybody?
that. Yeah, let's do it.
put
That's
it up
so pretty.
Throw
Yeah,
it
she
up
asked
there.
me what my favorite colors were, and I told her it was like turquoise and purple, and you know she incorporated it. But she worked on it since like end of July, August.
See, I see this conversation with your friend different from mine with my friend. Mike, what's your favorite color? And I would have given one.
You would have said oatmeal palette or something.
And then
Yeah.
I can hear Davey. Well, I'll just email it to you because it's really long. For me, and I don't want to forget one. So I'll
You can't
send
just
it.
pick blue. There's like cerulean, like you've got different shades of blue that you really need to incorporate.
Oh my
Was it a
gosh.
story or did you post a picture?
I
think
got
you
you.
posted a story. I'm gonna get it on Instagram.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you. What was yours, Mike?
This is the one that'll get me in trouble.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, this will
I
get
love
me in
that
trouble.
about you.
Best Christmas gift ever. My daughter was born on September 25th.
September 20th?
September 25th.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys will do math eventually and figure it out.
September 25th.
We'll
Okay.
figure it out. Amanda's got it before Davey does.
I
I'm
have
doing
2
too much.
September babies, so
Yes.
I know what your
Yes,
gift was.
yes, there you go.
It was not a handy.
Oh, it was, or it was a sapphire. That's the birthstone of September.
Yes.
I'm just going to send to you with no subject.
Send the quote.
All right.
All right, Amanda, you're out the rest of the week.
I'm out the rest of the week.
Safe travels. We hope that
Yeah.
it's a good week for you.
Yeah.
Davey's here tomorrow. Blake's here tomorrow. Morning show's back on. I hear you guys had the sheriff came in this morning.
He
to
made a
talk to you.
huge announcement. I mean, we have an epic sheriff.
What did he announce this morning?
He is going to run again! Yes!
We
I told him
love
he needs to
you.
run for the next 100 years.
You're surprised by that.
No, I'm so excited.
You were surprised. First of all,
Here's
He's a
Robbie,
Davey's
great
quilt.
human being.
Robbie
That's Davey's
Hardwick
quilt.
it does a great job as a sheriff. I think we've been very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's running again. But yes, don't be surprised by that.
Yeah, very, very, very proud of him.
Joe Biden's going to run too. Just I don't want you to be shocked when he announces.
Oh.
Can we? No.
Did he announce?
Oh, he's announced.
Oh.
So many times.
He's announced.
He needs to sit down with that Z-Way.
He has announced.
Send him into the Toto toilet. He'll never come out. We'll be saved.
Oh, God.
Love it.
No. I think this is, I've said this before, this is going to be an ugly political season.
Yeah.
It's going to be an ugly
I
political
can't do
season
it.
locally because there's a lot of people mad at a lot of other people here locally, which
can't
is
do
only
it.
going to be negative advertising, which everybody hates. And if you think you're going to see one positive ad out of anybody that's running for president or Senate or Congress, good luck.
Right.
Can we abstain? Can we just I just want to knit and craft. Can we do that
Yeah.
instead?
All
Yeah.
you got to do, Vicki Oakes is coming in here. We got her scheduled.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
She's going to come talk to us on the 22nd, which is a Monday.
We love Miss Vicky.
Because she's got some information coming out, and there's a presidential preference primary that is in March.
Okay.
So we've got that all coming up. She'll let us know. But yeah, I don't look at anything. I'm going to try to stay away from all of it this year.
God bless you.
I'm going to watch enough to be informative on the year, but I'm not going to be like Blake Blevins where I watch debates from start to finish.
No, I can't either. It's too,
I've watched a bunch of the Republican debates, but I've watched them on a comedy show that has a drinking game. And so it's a bunch of comedians they're comedians that are politically savvy, and so they're fact checking claims, but then they're also making fun of everybody. And if they say something, then you drink. So
Great.
it's fun.
I 100% think we need to do a drinking game with one of those.
Yes.
So there's the Iowa caucuses coming up in a couple of weeks. There's 3 people that have qualified for the CNN debate. Trump, Nikki Haley, and our governor, the governor, Ron DeSantis.
America's governor.
Right? America's governor. Now, Trump's not going to show up, which
Right.
means it's Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, which should just be
Oh, man.
throwing eggs at one another for however long they're going to do it.
I don't know if it's going to be that contentious.
No, they're still trying to look pretty for number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, no, they're both going to go after each other. At the same time, in a reunion, Donald Trump will be on Fox for a town hall at the exact same time that the CNN one is on.
Of course.
So, and then Vivek Ramaswamy is supposed to be on Tim Pool. On Tim. So we know what Pete will be watching that night.
Yeah.
He'll be watching
Camping with Steve.
So that'll be very interesting to see where the ratings go for those 3 shows. I have my own prediction. I think I know which will be the most watched show, but that's just
It
me.
will be the best. It'll be the only show that everybody will ever watch in the history of shows.
Of all the town halls that anyone's ever done, people will say this is the best one. They'll say it. They'll be right.
The
It'll be
best.
amazing. It'll be
Where was
fantastic.
Melania at the family holiday picture? Did you notice she was not in the picture?
I haven't seen the picture.
Her mother is sick.
Oh, my bad.
She has been with her mother.
Such
Awkward sauce.
I'm glad I read that story for
cleared it
today.
up. There it is. Cleared up on the Mike Davis Show.
You won't hear that in a lot of places, but the story I read is that her mother has been sick and she was with her mother because she takes her family seriously.
That makes sense.
Yes. All right. This has been a great show. Welcome back, everybody. Come back and see us tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow morning, though. The 904 Now will be on with more amazing announcements from politicians that Davey didn't think was going to run again or running again.
I can't believe it.
Shocking. Bye, everybody.
Guys tomorrow.